There's one fundamental problem of writing the library in this way. Usually people write scripts in sidebars and then you just put in your parameters and then it kind of outputs into the page, which is good, except it doesn't really give you the flexibility of modifying the code and having individual cells. So there's a few things that you need to know. Google Docs will do things like recall the API, which consumes your API credits if you do things like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a new column, and all of a sudden I've just consumed another API call. And of course, that's not what anybody wants. So I'm going to show you a little trick on how this script avoids this. So we have something called a cache test, and this function is literally just going to demonstrate how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Now, this comes back and it just says hi there, which is the exact parameter I put in. Now watch what happens when I go ahead and copy this and I paste it into another cell. So I've added from cache. So when you're doing this and you're modifying your spreadsheet and you're going ahead and clicking on insert one left, right? It's actually going to pull from the cache. And so the way that this works is that every time you put in a formula and you don't set the caching function to true or false, excuse me, if you opt to not cache these results, then it won't go into cache. But I do suggest that you use the cache. The reason for that is because it's going to cache it for 25 minutes. And so if you repeat the exact same call in this case, which is keyword volume semrush, Tesla is the parameter, I can go ahead and copy this around the sheet without worrying that I'm actually going to consume more API credits, which is pretty cool. Now, I know this spreadsheet is a mess, and say there's something wrong with the cache. Imagine that semrush had an error and you need to go through the cache. Well, there's two ways of doing it. I can go back into my formula here and I can keep going through the parameters, and then here I can say cache equals false, right? And now it's not going to come from cache. The other way of doing this is I can go into the helper functions and I can choose flush the cache. And so what this is going to do is anything that was cached previously is now no longer cached. So if I take this formula and I put it into here, I should just get hi there. Perfect. And that's the caching function.